Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there was a very old market. And in that market, nestled between the bustling shops and stalls, there was a small cat. This little cat wasn't like the others. He didn't have a collar or a fancy name tag. It wasn't anyone's pet. The old cat sat on an old wooden table. On the table were some old wrinkled fruits, apples and bananas. The cat didn't have a shop of his own, but the customers of the market knew him well. They knew he had a kind heart, and they trusted him. Whenever a customer needed some fruit, they would come to the cat's table. They would pick a fruit, give the cat a coin, and then smile at him. That made the cat very happy. It wasn't just the coin, it was the smile. It made him feel appreciated, respected, and loved. The cat didn't have many coins, but he was content. He didn't need much. He just wanted to live with dignity. He wanted to be able to buy fish when he was hungry, and a warm blanket when the weather turned cold. One day, a young woman came across the old cat. She was new in town, and she had never seen the cat before. She stopped by his table and asked him, "Why are you selling fruits? Are you a merchant?" The cat looked up at her with his wise old eyes and said, "No, I'm not a merchant. I'm a storyteller. These fruits are just here to remind me of my stories. Each fruit has a story, and each story has a lesson." The woman was intrigued. She picked an apple and asked him to tell her its story. The cat closed his eyes and began to speak. His voice was raspy, but his words were clear. "This apple tree," he began, "was planted by a king. He wanted his daughter to have the sweetest apple in the kingdom. And every year the apples grew sweeter and sweeter until one day a bird came and ate the sweetest apple. The king was so angry he ordered his men to capture the bird and make apple pie out of it. But when his daughter tasted the pie, she realized that the bird had eaten the sweetest apple, and she begged her father to let the bird go. The king was moved by his daughter's compassion, and he pardoned the bird. And so it is, my dear girl, that sometimes the sweetest things in life come at the greatest cost." The woman listened intently, hanging on to every word. When the cat finished his story, she thanked him and gave him a coin, but he refused to take it. "No, you have already paid me," he said, "with your attention and your kindness. That is all the payment I need." The woman was deeply moved by the cat's wisdom and generosity. She realized that he was not just a storyteller, he was a philosopher, a teacher, a friend. From that day on, the woman became a regular customer, bringing the cat fish and blankets whenever she visited the market. And so the old cat lived out the rest of his days, sharing stories, smiles, and dignity with everyone who crossed his path.